impuestos, porque sé que Diosito es grande y Él se encargará de ellos. Así como se encargó de cerrarle su compañía y hacer justicia por nuestros hermanos migrantes.
Did y'all see that big deportation in Tallahassee on that job site? If I was a Spanish person, I would gather up with a whole bunch of people and everybody stop working on it and then see how much the end date changes on that job. Let's see how many people from America is going to take the spot and finish the job as fast as they would. I get it, we have illegals, but a lot of them are here to work and better their lives. They just left their wives and all this other stuff and their kids to be deported. Let them people work. That's all.
So illegal immigrants have been hunted throughout the state of Florida by ICE agents, and the Florida construction industry, shocker, crashed. That's right, Florida construction is crashed because while all of the ICE agents have been going around to all of these construction sites, picking up illegal immigrants and undocumented immigrants that are supposedly criminals, it's created such an aftermath that now, doesn't matter if they're documented or undocumented, immigrants are not going to construction sites. They're not going to farmlands. They're not going to anywhere where ICE agents are searching. So now that we have dozens of openings, you would think that Americans would be rushing back to the workforce and they'd be taking these jobs back that illegal immigrants were taking from them. Timmy, Todd, and Tucker are not going out to do roofing a Florida sun. Construction in Florida is at a crawl because guess what? Illegal immigrants were doing the jobs that nobody else wanted to do. And this whole story about illegal immigrants are stealing American jobs was a bravado to have an excuse for not going out and actually doing these jobs. And the fact is, most United States citizens don't even have the job skills to be able to do these jobs illegal immigrants have been doing for underpay for a long time. The fact is, blaming immigrants for the jobs that you don't want to do is cowardly. The fact is, illegal immigrants have come to this country for a better way of life. They are only doing the jobs that you won't do because they can't get anything better. But once they've rised up, they've got themselves educated, they will become lawyers, they will become doctors, they will turn the tides on the people that are oppressing them now. It has happened over and over again, and it will happen in the state of Florida. Wake up.
You know I love to see videos of white people failing to replace the lack of undocumented and immigrant labor. Apparently, these are people at a school switching over to construction because of the high demand. And as people are pointing out, look at them. They're inside with AC and no wind whatsoever. And also, look at how slow they're moving. I did not slow this down for comedic purposes at all. There's going to be a lot of overtime they're going to pay. Oh, Poindexter, no.
So apparently, Florida is in desperate need of construction workers. Imagine that. Yeah. So in the construction industry, they're having a hard time contracting workers. And these extreme temperatures that nobody wants to work in, they're having a hard time finding any gringo workers. But you all were out here complaining, hollering, deport, 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 and they're taking our jobs. And imagine a situation wherein Florida needs construction workers. Hello? Wake up, America. Where's our workers at? Where's these people that are needing all of these jobs? Because apparently there's some openings and there's not a wait list. Might want to go and apply.
If all the immigrant construction workers are being deported out of the state of Florida and hurricanes start hitting the state of Florida, who's going to be around to fix all of the damage that the hurricanes have created? And then we don't have any workers to actually help, fix all of the things that the hurricanes damaged. And by the way, we don't have FEMA anymore because it's been defunded and dismantled and has been deemed unnecessary. So we have immigrants and undocumented workers that are supposedly criminals that are showing up to work every single day, working 9 to 5, 7 to 7, 7 to 10 at night, working on construction sites trying to help build this country. And now they've been deported, so we don't have that labor force, which is about 60 to 70% in the state of Florida. And then on top of it, we won't actually have the emergency services like FEMA that actually helps finance and fix the things or fund the things that need to be fixed. So how's that all going to work? The labor force is gone, and we don't have FEMA to actually finance the repairs that need to be done. So we're going to have a whole bunch of people sitting around with holes in their roofs, ease down, and this, that, and the other because no one had any kind of forethought.
Hello, guys, and welcome to the Joe Report, where we get an outsider's view with an insider's clarity. The construction industry in Florida is in crisis, and the warning signs are too big to ignore. For years, the backbone of Florida's construction boom has been immigrant labor. Immigrants worked the tough, backbreaking jobs that built Florida's houses, roads, hotels, and skylines. But today, the same industry is on the verge of collapse because the very people who made it possible are being deported, and the state is paying the price for it. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. Let me play you a few more videos and I'll come back with my commentary.
So y'all are getting all fired up about undocumented workers and they all got to get out of here. Get rid of them all. Close the borders and all that bull crap. Lyndon B. Johnson told you Americans a long time ago that if you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best black man, you can pick his pocket. And if you give him somebody to look down on, he'll empty his pockets for you. And some of you ham and eggers are getting your pockets picked every day because you're falling for these distractions. Smarten up. The corporations that drew these undocumented workers to America are the problem. That is what created the undocumented worker problem. Somebody a long time ago should have found work visas for these men and women that come here and do a hard day's work and made it legal for them to work. But instead, capitalist, greedy corporations found a way to exploit them and let them lurk in the shadows. We should be going after the employer, and we should find ways to get these undocumented workers to be here legally as a worker. Because let's be honest, unemployment's 4.3% in America and 3.7% in Florida. We don't have enough people to do the jobs. We need these workers. We should find a way for it to be fair and equitable to all. That's what America's all about.
Immigrants, minorities, documented and undocumented workers are being deported on mass scale out of Florida right now. Who's going to do all of that work? Because I got a top 5 list right now of jobs no way you will see Americans actually do once all of these supposed illegal criminals are deported out. Number 5, construction work. I'm sorry, but little Todd and Timmy and Tucker and Sander, all of these people that actually been named after tradesmen will never actually work in any of these trades because no American citizens want their kids to actually be tradespeople. So can you actually see little Timmy who's questioning his gender hanging sheetrock for 10 hours a day in the hot sun? No. Most of these Gen Zers are going to start crying when they hear the word F's are hurt and there's no trigger safe spaces. Number 4, farming. How many of these little American-born citizens are going to actually go out and start picking fruits and vegetables for 12, 15 hours a day? Not going to happen. Number 3, lawn people. How many white people do you think you're going to see out on the yards at 110-degree weather mowing? How they do it, but the Latin community gets a lot of respect for the fact that they can actually stay out there for 12 to 14 hours a day. Number 2, house cleaning. How many people do you see out there that are American citizens trying to get jobs cleaning houses? It never happens. I'm on Palm Beach Island all of the time.
Florida once prided itself on being one of the fastest growing states in America. People are moving in droves. New housing developments were popping up everywhere, and construction companies were always busy. But underneath that booming growth was an uncomfortable truth. Most of the workers driving that growth were immigrants. They were the ones laying the bricks, mixing the cement, climbing the scaffolds, and roofing the homes. Without them, the industry could not function. Now, with stricter deportation policies and aggressive immigration crackdowns, Florida is seeing what happens when the labor force gets stripped away overnight. Construction sites are slowing down, projects are being delayed, and costs are skyrocketing. Developers can't find enough people willing to do the hard labor that immigrants once filled without hesitation. Many of the jobs are too physically demanding, too low paying, and too dangerous for the local workforce, and as a result, they sit vacant. This isn't just about labor. It's about the ripple effect. When construction slows down, the entire economy feels it. Housing shortages get worse, rents go up, properties prices climb, and businesses that rely on construction contracts starts to fold. What once was Florida's growth engine is turning into a chokehold on its economy. Contractors are now desperate. Some companies have been forced to turn down projects because they simply can't find the workers. Others are offering higher pay, but even that hasn't been enough. The reality is clear. Deporting the immigrant workforce has created a gap that Florida cannot fill quickly, if at all. This is what happens when political promises ignore economic reality. The push to deport immigrants was framed as a way to protect American jobs, but the truth is, many Americans are not lining up to do construction work in the Florida heat for long hours and relatively low pay. Immigrants did these jobs with dedication, and now that they're gone, the industry is paralyzed. What seemed like a strong political stance has turned into an economic nightmare that everyday Floridians are paying for. It's a classic case of short-term politics causing long-term damage. Politicians wanted to look tough on immigration, but they failed to consider who actually keeps the state running. Florida's growth story was written by immigrant hands, but instead of recognizing that value, the state pushed them out. And now, the state is learning the hard way. You can't just snap your fingers and replace a skilled, experienced workforce. And let's not forget the human side of this story. Many of these immigrants had lived in Florida for years. They built lives there, raised families, and contributed to their communities. Deportation didn't just strip away workers. It tore apart families and disrupted communities. The loss is both economic and deeply personal. The irony is painful. While politicians talk about securing jobs for American citizens, the reality is that Floridians are now paying more for housing, waiting longer for construction projects, and facing stalled growth because the very people who could fix the problem have been deported. Instead of prosperity, they got scarcity. Instead of growth, they got gridlock. The construction shortage is also fueling a bigger housing crisis. Florida already had a problem with affordable housing, and now it's only getting worse. With fewer workers, fewer homes are being built, and the homes that are completed cost more. Families are being priced out, renters are being squeezed, and the dream of owning a home in Florida is slipping away for many. What makes this situation even more tragic is that many people saw it coming. Advocates warned that deporting immigrant workers would devastate industries like construction, agriculture, and hospitality. But instead of listening, leaders pushed forward with policies that now look like self-inflicted wounds. Florida construction crisis should serve as a wake-up call. Immigrants are not just a part of the economy, they are the foundation of it. Without them, industries break down and communities suffer. The state is now facing a hard truth. It cannot deport its way to prosperity. So the question is, what happens next? Will Florida adjust its policies, or will it continue down this path of economic self-destruction? Can the construction industry recover, or will the labor shortage permanently slow down the state's growth? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to keep this discussion going. Otherwise, that's it from me. I also have a FAFO playlist, and if you enjoy such kind of content, please click up here and enjoy. Also, consider subscribing, liking and sharing because it helps me grow my channel and helps YouTube recommend this video to a wider audience. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Until the next time, the Joy Report out.